Hi everyone, welcome to this HTML crash course. In this series, we will learn HTML step by step, and by the end, you'll be able to build your first web page. If you're completely new to coding, don't worry, we're going to take it slow and simple. First, let us start by knowing what HTML is. HTML stands for Hypertext Markup Language. It's a language that gives structure to every web page on the internet. It tells the browser where the headings are, where the paragraphs are, where the images and the links should go. So, step one, to follow along, you will need a code editor, and I recommend you having Visual Studio Code, which is also known as VS Code. We have many, of course, we have many text editors. We have Sublime Text, we have Notepad plus plus. But I recommend VS Code because it's one of the best text editors we have. All right. So you can also use Notepad, like I say, if you want, but VS Code makes things easier. So first, we're going to create a folder for our project. So we're going to name that folder HTML Crash Course, and we're going to open that folder with our text editor. But since you're a beginner and then you don't have a text editor, you could just simply navigate to your browser and then search Visual Studio Code. When you search Visual Studio Code, you're gonna open on your browser and you're gonna click on the first link. You're gonna take you to the official page of Visual Studio Code, where you're going to see download button at the top right. So click on it and then select your operating system. Based on your operating system, you select it and then the download will start. So install it and then you can join me from where we're going to continue. In my own case, I already have the VS Code installed, which I'm going to open my folder with, and then we can start with the structure of HTML. Alright, so let me open the folder with VS Code. Alright, so now we're going to create our first file in this folder where we are going to be looking at the entire structure of HTML. Alright, so I'm going to save this file index.html, and I'm going to write the structure of HTML where I'm going to be explaining step by step what each line of code stands for, or what each line of code represents. So let's type the basic structure. So I'll start with the doc type HTML. I'll start followed by HTML elements, followed by the head tag title. So we're just going to write a very simple title within the title element. So you can write the title any name you want to give irrespective of the page you're working on. Okay. Alright, so for instance, I'm going to write this title here, just like I have written here. Then after the title, let's create our body element where we have all our web contents. So in between the opening and closing tag of our body element is where we're going to be writing all the visible content that we're going to be seeing on our web page. So let's say, for instance, I want to create a heading, H1. So I'm going to create a very simple heading like hello world, with a paragraph where I have the p tag. So this is my first web page, for instance, as a paragraph text, which we are going to display in our browser. All right. So this H1 and paragraph are the elements we're going to be discussing subsequently. These are just basic HTML elements. So let's see how we can let's view this in our browser and see how the basic H1 and the paragraph looks like. Alright, so let's open this with our browser. In my case, I'm opening with Google Chrome. So this is how it looks in our browser. We have hello world, and we have a simple paragraph here called "This is my first web page." So let's quickly explain the structure just as written. So first, the first line of code we have here is the doc type. So the doc type tells the browser we are using HTML5. Then we have the HTML element which wraps the entire document. Okay, that's the HTML element, then followed by the head tag. Okay, the head element contains the meta information like the page title, which we see here. Okay, after the page title, you have where you have your head element closing. Okay, then we have the body elements. So the body element contains everything we actually see on our web page. Everything you see in the web page is being contained in the body element, just like the one we have written the H1, the paragraph we have just displayed in the browser. So every visible content that is supposed to be displayed comes in between there. Then we have our HTML element closing down here, which wraps the entire structure. So basically, that's it for this video. And that's it for today's lesson. We have created a simple web page with a heading and a paragraph. In the next video, we will learn how to format text and add links, lists, and images. Don't forget to subscribe so you don't miss out on the next part. Thank you for watching.